Morning everyone, Drew's Apiary here. Today is June the 13th. This is a lot later of a video as far as when I said I was going to upload a new one. I was hoping I was going to get one in last week or a little before that, but just been so busy I haven't had a chance. And so today the purpose of this video is we are harvesting honey. Again, a lot later than I would have liked to. I would have loved to have harvested 2 weeks ago or 10 days ago, somewhere in there. Been gone, and today's my first day I'm getting a chance to be able to do it. So we're out here at the first yard. We have, you know, of these 6 hives, I'm sure we're going to be able to pull, let me think about the 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 13 supers out here and 2 extra deep bodies. I doubt I'm going to be harvesting all 13 supers. I think like 1 or 2 might be empty. But we'll see. We're gonna double check, see what's capped, what's not capped. And I'm gonna start putting these fume boards on, just like standard fume boards. That way, you know, basically sun hits up here, warms underneath this. It's like cotton. If you haven't used one of these before, using a little Honey Bandit solution, which I don't really know what I'd describe the smell as. It's kind of like a, it's unpleasant. It's like a, no, it's like a cherry, especially like a cherry licorice. So that's the best descriptor I can give. But the bees do not like it. And so when you spray that on the inside of this felt cover, as this gets heated up, the surface from this little solary thing, under here, it's gonna start to fume out. The solution that's on the felt is gonna start to spread throughout the hive, and the bees are gonna move basically down and away from it, so deeper down into the hive. And so that's how we're going to remove these supers, and there'll still be stragglers that'll find their way in there, and I'll have to use a leaf blower or something to get the remainder out. But this is going to be a process today. We're going to do this yard and at least one other, probably apiary yard number 2. We're not going to harvest anything from the other ones, so that's going to be pretty much it though. But I'm not using bee escapes. Some people use a bee escape, which is a smart thing to do to help, you know, the day prior, put them on, and hopefully it removes a lot of the bees from up top or from your supers. But I don't have any of those. I'm not going to be using them, so this is going to be a little bit more labor intensive. But we are going to see how long this will take. It is 9:45 in the morning. I would have liked to have gotten started a little earlier, but this is still going to be a full day thing. And then tomorrow, the remainder of this video is going to be extracting honey. So that's very exciting. So without further ado, I am going to get started on that. I'll probably add clips here and there. This is not going to have time lapses like it usually does. This is just going to be boom, 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 boom. And you guys can see the whole process that way. All right, harvesting the super is going well. Just kind of want to show this real quick. See how badly, you know, I've got the fume board up top, and look at them just right step marching out of there because they hate that smell. And there's a lot of bees in here to begin with, but they're all gonna be bearding out at the front on this one, just because to them, that's just a terrible smell. So yeah, doesn't do any harm to them. They just don't like it, and they'll go back inside or slowly work their way back in whenever I remove those. So just figured I'd share that, and on we go. Not much more to go. All right, real quick, just one thing I wanted to share. I'm over here in the garage, just collecting boxes, getting them organized, so that way they are ready for harvest. One thing every beekeeper should probably invest in, especially if you're gonna be serious about it, is a refractometer. And this is just like a little cheap one. I think this was like maybe 30 to 50 bucks. I forgot how long, probably 2 years ago or so I bought it. But this is a way to check your moisture content or your water content that's in your honey. It's pretty easy to use. That's the piece that goes towards your eye. This is where the sample is collected, right here. It's just a glass screen that is sealed with this plastic flip right here. So, you know, this kit came with a little pipette. I put some honey right here on the side just from this super box, just so it'd be easy to see. I'm gonna put the honey on the little pipette right there. Or not the pipette, on the tray, and then close it. Notice how it's like pressing, the honey's getting spread out against the glass. And then what we're gonna do, you're probably not gonna be able to see it in here, of course. I have no real way of doing it. Kind of see it in there, but it's basically a dial chart. It's a little chart that basically shows everything. You've got a, let's see, a Brix meter in the middle. You've got the water percentage on the right, which is what we're mainly looking at today. And what you want to be looking for on that chart, again, it's gonna be on the right side, kind of hard to see. Try it one more time, see if it'll line up or not. And again, this probably might just have to use there we go. On that right side, even though it's not really zoomed, there are little hash marks. On the low end, it's 12% water. On the high end, it's showing 27. What you're looking for is kind of between that 15.5 and that 18.8 area to kind of let you know that that honey is good to go. If it was higher than that percentage, it's not that you couldn't use it, but the thing is, if there's any wild yeast that got in here, there's a chance that your honey could ferment, which is not good. I mean, the reality is I'm sure when, you know, most beekeepers are harvesting their honey, there is gonna be some honey that's gonna get in there that's probably outside of that range. It probably does happen. But the reality is you shouldn't be harvesting any honey if it is in that greater, if it's greater than 18%. So like earlier today, I was using the pipette out of an uncapped honey super. And so, you know, if you pull out the frame and you see the little, let me give you a better example. I have one right here. Let me grab one of these deeps. Deep would be a good example. You know, something like this. Let's just say, for example, it's kind of hard to tell, but there's a little bit of nectar in there. If I were to sample some of that shiny nectar that's in here, you know, it would probably be in the mid to high 20s is my guess. There's still a lot of moisture. The bees haven't had a chance to really, you know, get it to the spot where it's been aged enough that they'll cap it. Usually when you see the capping on the front, and I'll grab that next, that's usually the sign of bees letting you know that the honey is ready to be harvested. So on one of these super frames, for example, all this cap stuff right here, that's gonna have the percentage that we're looking for. It's almost like the bee's way of letting you know that stuff's ready. I mean, it's good for them too. It's not like they're doing that for you as the beekeeper, but as a beekeeper, we just know when we see that it is, it's good to go. So, just wanna share that real quick. Like I said, I'm gonna keep getting these things organized and ready, and then I gotta go to the second yard and grab a few from there, and that should be it for today. All right, that's it for yard number 1. Like I said, all we were doing was harvesting supers or boxes, any frames I just wanted to take. Didn't go to any of the high bodies in the bottom, left those alone. Sometimes I'll do some equalization when I'm harvesting, but just didn't have the time today. It took way longer than it should have for just me going through 14, 15 boxes, but I was also really going through them, figuring out which ones I wanted to take, cleaning them up a bit, checking to see if they needed maintenance or not. So it took me a little bit longer and got distracted. But the boxes you see on top of the deeps, minus the green hive right there, those were just boxes that maybe they were frames that weren't ready to be harvested. I'm just gonna leave them for the bees. They can do with them as they need to, as just extra honey stores going through the summer, because it's hot right now. It's almost 100 degrees out here, and I like to think, or I don't like to think, I imagine it's gonna be another rough summer for us as far as these bees bring in natural sugar. So tomorrow's gonna be the day that I harvest all my honey, and then I'll bring those empty frames back to let them clean them up out in the yard for the day. So that's the plan right now. We will move on to the next yard. All right, here we are at the second yard. We are going to harvest from the left 4, the boxes in white. Even though they got 2 supers up top, I think I'm only going to be taking 1 from each of them. I doubt that both are fully filled. If for some reason they are, then great, I'll take it. But I do not believe that's going to be the case. So most likely we'll be taking 4 more boxes here today. And I will actually put this on a time lapse, just like I did. I originally said I wasn't going to do time lapses while I was harvesting, but I'll just leave that on. Hopefully this doesn't take too long, and we'll get on out of here. All right, that's it for here and for today. Like I said, next part of this video, we're gonna be going to harvest this honey at one of the nearby meaderies. The owner is gonna let me use his honey extractor. So tomorrow we're gonna be doing that. We'll see how long that takes. I think right now I've got 15 supers in total. So yeah, exciting stuff. I'll see you all there, and we'll continue the rest of this video. Morning everyone, we are at the Meadery, 5-Force Meadery, very good local Roswell, Georgia mead. Some of the best in the area, honestly. I love coming here. I know the owner, he's a great guy. He's gonna let me use his extractor today to see if we can get our honey harvested and start getting it prepared for going to the market. So without further ado, we'll go inside and get to work. All right, so here we are inside 5-Force Meadery. Getting to work over here. I'm getting all these frames extracted. So I'm about 1.5 buckets in. It started a little slower than I would have liked, but I think now we're gonna start trucking along. So I'm gonna show you that process a little bit as I work. And yeah, and hopefully I can get done here in the next few hours. So more to follow. Right here's a 6-frame extractor. So we got the frames in there. I'll put it on low speed. You're not actually supposed to while things running, but just so you guys get an idea of what it looks like in there. So frames placed along to their full length inside the extractor. I'm only putting 4 in there. I found it's been working more efficiently with 4 instead of the full 6. And then, again, once it starts to go, spin, throws all the honey against the sides. And while it's doing that, down here, under our bucket, look at all that. Liquid gold. It's running through a little, I think this is a strainer from Dadent. These seem to be working a lot better. I used to be using like a metal strainer, but the owner here at the Meadery, he's letting me use his strainers. And so I might have to pick up some myself because they're a lot lighter, a lot more efficient. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm gonna put on a time lapse, keep working, keep trucking along, and hopefully we can get done here in the next few. All right, here we are back at Apiary Yard 1. These are all of the boxes and just loose frames and cappings for the bees to pick clean. Right now it is almost 10 a.m. It's like 9:45 right now. So the bees are just starting to get out and get moving. I've already seen some starting to check it out. So hopefully this is a busy day for them to clean up. I know I didn't finish yesterday showing you what I all harvested, but it's also because I haven't completed putting everything in a bucket. I have to go back to the Meadery and finish not only cleaning up, but also getting the last of the honey that was over there. But I can say definitively of the honey that I took home yesterday, it was about 350 pounds. I'm hoping I can get another 150 or so. I thought this year I'd get about 750, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. I think I was a little overly optimistic, and I think some of the honey frames that I thought were gonna be good, I ended up not harvesting from, or there were some that just weren't fully packed out. So had they all been fully packed out, I probably would have gotten that mark, but I'm probably looking at closer to 500 pounds. So I'll know that number for sure once I get a better update, hopefully later in this video, once I measure everything out. But again, we're gonna let the bees pick these things dry, and then we're gonna go right over there and we're going to equalize some frames. Like that green hive right there is gonna get one of these empty drawn out supers on top. I'm gonna make sure there's not anything blank up top, because honestly, if there is, they might as well just get already some waxed out stuff to get working with. So that way when they start packing in all this honey, they actually have a spot to put it in the hive. So without further ado, we're gonna do that right now. All right, so we're back at the original yard. Today is June 20th, Tuesday. I'm sorry, not Tuesday, Monday, June 19th. I don't know why I said that. It has been a full week since harvest day, and it's taken me forever to upload this video. And a lot of the footage that I recorded, it basically got corrupted, so I'm not able to use it, unfortunately. But it looks like for this year we got about 360 pounds of honey, which isn't bad. For 15 hives, and honestly, of those 15 hives, really only 10 of them I was able to harvest from, because the other ones were just too young, or they were first years, you know, splits, etc. And so, to be honest, that's just kind of the reality of it. Is, you know, when you have a first year hive, you're not going to get as much honey as one that's been established, in place, ready to go for the spring flow. And so I had projected, I assumed I was going to get around 700 pounds of honey, 750, somewhere in there. And I definitely did not. I got half of what I expected. So that's a little unfortunate. I was definitely looking forward to bringing in a bunch this year. And, you know, I still got a lot in comparison to last. But so I'm not just out here. I'm just letting them clean up the last few buckets. That's pretty much it. Pick them clean in these hives. I'm going to go to the other yards real quick. I'm not going to record it, but I'm just going to backfeed them some sugar syrup, because we're in that, you know, we're in the dearth here in Georgia now at the end of this recording. When I harvested last week, the flow was pretty much over. So at this point, it's just going to be, you know, feeding sugar syrup for the remainder of the summer, maybe considering what treatment I might do for the summer. Not sure yet when that's going to be, either at the end of this month or beginning of next. But yeah, so again, sorry this took so long to upload. It's just been a very busy past week, getting ready, going to farmers markets, selling some of this honey, and just kind of wanted to share what I did for my first big year of harvesting. So hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all take care. See you next time.